Alright, I literally just got these fans in. These are the Apex Stealth metal fans. I literally just got them in the mail, and it's January 11th right now. Even with all the news about the controversy about them maybe not meeting performance, I'm still really excited about taking a look at them. This is going to be a first impressions video. Testing will come at a later date. I literally haven't even had a chance to test them yet, so it's probably going to be a couple weeks out just to make sure I get my thorough testing in. So let's open them up, take a look, and well, I want to do my first impressions. Let's get both of them open first. And due to some inconveniences going on, internet is literally out, so I'm using my cellular network rather than my internet provider. We're going to do it all in one go, so I do apologize if I ramble. So packaging is nice, all cardboard plastic. We got an accessory kit. Let's take a quick look at that before we get into the fan. Open it up, and we got an extension cable. We have a whole bunch of nuts and screws, and are they labeled? I hope they are. Stealth mounting nut. That is really cool that everything is labeled. And let's go ahead and take a quick look-see at the fans. Now, I know if you've been looking, following the news for this, you probably have seen other unboxings, so I fully understand that. But this is my first time with hands on them, so here we are. I got two different versions, the silver and the black. Just because I wanted to take a look at both. Don't have any plans for a specific build for these, but if they're really good, I would use them. That is going to be a fingerprint magnet, but let's go ahead and open up the black one. So personally, if I were to put it on a radiator, I would probably use the silver one. I'm just talking about visually. And if I were to use it on like a case fan type scenario, I'd use black. But it also depends on what kind of build appearance you're going for, whether you want the fans to be highlighted or hidden. And another thing to note is that this is metal, so it's painted, right? As opposed to plastic, where it's literally just infused, so the plastic is continuous color all the way through. So you need to be extra careful with these fans not to scratch them, because it will show up. You just get the metal color underneath. And the appearance of them looks really quite cool. The silver one is definitely more visually striking, just simply because it's, well, silver in color. I am not going to disassemble it in this video. The struts on them are nice and thin, very, very thin, and very angled. The main strut right here is a bit rounded on the top and pretty narrow, so it's not obstructing the airflow very much, which is good. The blade sweep and the sweep of these means that there's very little interaction between each of them, so it should be relatively silent. Again, haven't done any testing, so I'm just talking about visual appearances only. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a joggle there. That could be an airflow interrupter, or I don't know, I can't think of any reason why I would have that. Kind of interesting visual thing going on there. The cable is a little bit underwhelming considering the price of the fans. So like shipping on these was crazy. Almost $200 or $100 total to get these two fans shipped to me. And yes, that is my own money. The housing here in the middle is plastic. I've felt nicer plastics. So the main thing here is literally this metal piece. And I'm touching this one because the silver is less likely to, well, it will scratch just as easily, but probably won't be as visually bad as scratching black. So the gap between the blades, the housing, the shrouded blade, and the frame is relatively narrow, but I can still see through it, like right there on camera. So it could be a little bit more narrow, but having it be a little bit of gap allows for if these blades stretch a little bit, but that's one of the reasons why you'd have to housing around it is that it all will stretch uniformly, so it won't interact with it very much. The blades are, it's very reminiscent of the Noctua 1225 and other modern fans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blades. So again, a standard amount with the 5 struts. More common is 4. It is a bit thicker in size, and I'm going to take a look at the instructions. So you got the different screws you have for mounting it to your radiators and stuff, and how to mount it properly, what sizing to use. So kind of my first impressions with this would be, overall, I'm fairly excited with it. You can definitely see that there are a couple compromises with it because of how the metal, the thickness of the frame. The blade size isn't quite 120 millimeters, so it's a little bit reduced in size. So they'll need to compensate for that with the blade geometry design, as well as RPM, so how fast it spins. So hopefully the decoupling actually makes it silent enough at higher RPMs to force that air through. But if it was specifically designed for radiators, the blade diameter doesn't quite matter as much, because when it's sealed up against something, it's going to just spread the air out and force it through anyways. And this is a fingerprint magnet. So you would install this in your case and you would want to basically polish it off. One thing that I think would be interesting for this is if they had like a plastic back frame that you could install instead for when it meshes up against something, because you're with maybe just a little bit of accent metal on the sides. I don't know, because then it would be less likely to scratch. It's just a side thought. The side appearance is definitely not quite as good. Mind it looks pretty aesthetically pleasing because it's this ovally type shape, but just not visually striking as other fans. So definitely that this is more of a in-your-face appearance type look, as opposed to seeing it from the sides. Other than that, it's a little bit disappointing again about this cable. It seems very rudimentary given the price tag of this fan at, was it like $25? I don't remember offhand. That'll be in the full review. I'm just rambling on. But the cable is pretty cheap feeling. Mind, it's not going to stick out very much. It's not got the pogo pins to directly connect, which would be what I think that if this fan actually turns out to be good enough, that AlphaCool should have done, or should do in a future revision of this, is make them able to pogo pin together, because that seems like the future of most of these fans. I know I focused a lot on that silver one. Let's bring out the black. Visually, I like the black better. Somehow it just, it really looks stealth. But they're fundamentally the same. And with that, I think I'm going to end this little open box experience for these fans. I just really wanted to make this quick video because I'm super excited about getting this into my testing. Right now I've got a bunch of other fans I'm testing. So I got my little stack of fans over there. And I should be getting to these this week, I think. And I'll crank out this review as quick as possible and put it on the Prime list, because I'm very excited to be taking a look at these. Anyways, thank you very much for watching Computer Tech and More. I hope to see you in the future. Please subscribe or check out my Patreon page, and I'll see you soon.